Meet Bowerbird, a playboy of this Australian forest. And the structure is his bower, an arbour designed only for seduction. Close by, a rival is busy at another bower of sticks, an alternative attraction for local females. He works hard at tidying this centrepiece of his territory, fastidiously arranging his collection of feathers, leaves, insects and small shells. This playboy has a particular liking for objects that match the colour of his eyes and plumage, including blue berries, which he chews and then paints as a salivary mixture onto the twigs of his bachelor pad. He's an artist working hard to impress a passing female. Excitement grips him. Now he must find a jewel to entice her down. Perhaps his favourite leaf will do the trick. Finally, he offers her a berry. It glows like a pearl of great price. But she's not impressed. Ah well, back to the drawing board. The showcase must be improved, the structure strengthened, the artwork touched up. Unless he can attract her into this avenue between the twigs, he cannot mate. Bowerbird's performance was not to her taste, but his rival's bower seems to have immediate sex appeal. And this neighbouring bowerbird is all too ready to captivate her with his seductive display. She is mesmerised by his artistry, but he must hold her attention until he can circle round behind her to consummate the occasion. The arbour has served its purpose, and this mated female takes with her one of his treasures, perhaps a memento. But the rival is being watched as he leaves his scene of triumph. The temptation is not easy for Bowerbird to resist. His rival's ornaments are there for the taking. He may not have succeeded at mating, but he can now improve his own collection while his neighbour is briefly away. It's an opportunity not to be ignored. Or is it that revenge is sweet? Bowerbird is soon busy collecting again. But he's unaware that his precious bower has an intruder. It's not a female. The beak is not dark enough. It's a juvenile male, just practicing a little theft. But in the end, what Bowerbird brings in more than compensates for the youngster's pilfering. The playboy is also having some success. But will she approve the enhanced construction? Is the interior decoration to her liking? Eyes bulge, feathers plump. He's into a serious display. And he plays his final card, but loses again. In a crowded forest, encounters of an unsatisfactory kind are inevitable. Echidna's appetite unwittingly leads to Bowerbird's pride and joy. Bowerbird's artistry with insect bodies is appreciated only as a meal by Echidna. A diner who quite innocently demolishes the restaurant. What else can Bowerbird do but begin all over again? Bowerbird seems to have come to terms with the recent disaster. Without his bower, he stands no chance of achieving a mating. A Satin Bowerbird's architectural skills are his sexiest quality. But that means he has to work harder for love than most other birds. It's not been a good day for Bowerbird or brush turkey. The clumsiness of Echidna and the thievery of Goanna took their toll. But before nightfall, Bowerbird has already made headway with this new sculpture. He still has that neighbour as a rival, and even though he's stolen that neighbour's treasures, he has a long way to go to be sure of success. Not dead, just warming up. Bowerbird luxuriates in the morning sunlight. And this is not his bower. It's a training ground for juvenile males not far away. They're busy early, trying their skills at building and displaying to each other. And they're almost certainly using an ornament or two pilfered from Bowerbird. Summer in the forest brings out the crowds. Everywhere food is on offer and customers are drawn to the colourful displays. Top-knot pigeons and bird-wing butterflies sample the fruits of the forest. Trees exploit the animals among their branches as scatterers of seed or as pollinators of flowers. But sometimes the animals get out of control and there's a riot. Soldier beetles in thousands invade a lily-pilly tree. Many cascade to the ground and immediately look for something to climb, from which to launch themselves in search of another lily-pilly in flower. But on the ground, one army meets another, a better equipped force. Bulldog ants, at 1 inch long, the largest ants in the world. Frantically, they bite and sting in defense of their anthill nest. The forest heaves with this onslaught of beetles, and, disastrously, the insect tide engulfs Bowerbird's latest creation. And there's nothing that Bowerbird can do about it. Picking them off one by one is futile. But he's compelled to try. The situation is desperate. With his bachelor pad infested by insects, the playboy stands no chance of mating success. A solitary Satin Bowerbird chick is a special new arrival to this Lamington Forest neighbourhood. Its mother is the female that rejected Bowerbird, so the chick is the offspring of his neighbour and rival. Only immature males are visiting Bowerbird now. But he's so keen to display that in the absence of females, even young males will do. And perhaps the young male is learning a little technique, not only how to paint the bower, but how a courting male should behave. The juvenile seems impressed by Bowerbird's dance, but his attention span is short and he's easily distracted away. The female has no need to visit any bower now. She's a full-time mother, feeding and protecting the chick. Something has caught her attention in the forest below. It's feral cat, a gone wild import, an animal quite alien to this Australian forest, an indiscriminate predator in a society whose rules were set millions of years before it arrived. These kittens would be more at home in the human jungle. It's not their fault that they face a life of unease among neighbours as unused to them as they are to this forest. Even in the human city, a cat often has to live on its wits. But out here are different challenges. Carpet snake is quite familiar with bowers and shows them little respect. Like echidna earlier, he explores this avenue for smells. There's a scent of eggshells here, though they're only colourful decoration. But there's a lot of carpet snake to pass by, even after his head has decided to leave. And Bowerbird would do well to stand clear before cleaning up the wreckage. Safe out of reach up here sits Satin Bowerbird chick, but it's got to that dangerous age. It's ready to leave the nest. Well, just about ready. But at least it's still out of reach of carpet. Bowerbird has just about tidied up after carpet snake. But this display is going to be the most attractive yet. His neighbour's bower is as elegant as ever, refurbished with an irresistible exhibition that can hardly fail to seduce the critic he's inviting. But to feral cat,